All right, everybody, get on in here. We have a show. This is so full of spice, it should have a spicy warning on it because we are about to go into a whole lot of things. All of a sudden, $5 million is missing, and there's a new investigation that's been opened up against a Democratic rep out of Florida. We're going to cover that one. That just broke as I was loading this in. Then you got Republican on Republican violence going on in the House where they're censuring each other, which is fun to watch. And then you got something a little special at the end, all about how the left thinks they won. There's a big poll out, guys. It's over. We might as well pack it up. It's over. No one loves us. No one cares. No one even agrees with the country anymore. It's over. The Democrats have won, except for the fact where reality is going to come crashing down as we go on this tour guide of freedom. All right, listen, guys, as you get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We have got a lot of freedom to disperse and a little time to do it. So as we get in here, of course, the notifications are being what the notifications are. So as you get in, chats, comments, emojis, we will have some fun together and make sure the audio video is working. And we should be off to the races. All right. So as you guys get in here, thank you very much, Mike. I see you. You are the first commenter, making sure audio and video, per usual, is on point. All right, let's get into this as everyone filters in. So you guys know that we've had quite a few little things to talk about recently. We've got some Epstein stuff. We've got Democrats got their hands caught in the cookie jar. We've got all sorts of fun little adventures to go through. And for some reason, that's not flipping over. Why is that not flipping over? I'll worry about this in a second as you guys get in here. There's a lot of stuff that we've got to talk about around, President Trump kind of signed the Epstein thing. That's awkward. There we go. Now it worked. All right, listen. This is savage upon savage. I don't know who's making the oversight committee post for X for the GOP, but this is pretty awesome to just kind of wet your whistle and set the tone and tenor of this video. Good work, Stacy, says the oversight committee. Much love from Epstein. And there's her text while she was in committee. You hate to see it. You love to see it, but you hate to see it. Man, that is uncomfortable on all kinds of levels. Guys, look at that action. All right, guys, we're going to keep on going. We got one more appetizer for you. This one I find fascinating because one of the things that we've been talking about, and we'll get the momentum and the energy going here in a second, but one of the things that I find so fascinating about this entire endeavor with the Epstein thing is it was all about Trump being, I don't even know the best word, shielded, guarded, manipulative, hiding it, surreptitious. That's what I was trying to say. Surreptitious. But you know what's interesting about it now? That he endorsed it. The Republicans passed it unanimously with the exception of Clay Higgins in Louisiana, which is a real weird thing to be known for. Then you got the Senate who did it unanimously, and now Trump just signed it right there. The left has moved into a different realm on this. And again, we're just in the opening salvo of this video. They've moved into a different realm, and the realm they've moved into is, well, yeah, obviously. I mean, of course he would sign it. We only spent like 6 months saying how evil Trump was for not releasing the files, but now that he did it, he's evil because he really deleted his stuff. It's like, what? The left is pissed because you didn't drop the files. You dropped the files, well, the left is pissed because you dropped the files. I mean, it's literally like you can't win for losing. But anyway, all right. We got in here. Oh, hold on a second. I like the fact he said, sure, now we can see how much they redact. I don't know. I ain't seen the document. We'll see if it happens. Anyway, JNWI says, oh my goodness gracious, I made it in early. Great to see all you guys. Here we go again. Oh man, this is going to be fun. All right, y'all, listen. Notifications clearly are not going out. So hit that like button, subscribe, and share, and do all the things that help the notification do its job for it. Because we are about to have some fun. Who was missing their $5 million? I swear I just had mine on me. It turns out it was in a Democratic rep from Florida because she stole COVID federal funds for disaster relief. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this just got opened. Again, I got 3 big topics we're going to hit. This is the opening one. I thought you'd really get some attention out of it. The Department of Justice has announced charges against Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Shrifulis McCormick of Florida, alleging she diverted approximately $5 million in FEMA disaster relief funds. According to prosecutors, the charges carry a potential maximum sentence of up to 53 years in federal prison if she's convicted. Yee. Man. It doesn't get much lower than stealing FEMA disaster relief funds and then funneling it to your family business, does it? And then it goes back to your congressional campaign. Man, oh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, this actually happened. This is not made up. I've got correlating reports. Here you go. Here's another one. Breaking: the DOJ has just charged Democrat Congresswoman Sheila Sherfulis McCormick with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds meant for disaster relief. Yeah, right down there. Sheila also, so bad. Sheila also is alleged to have used a lot of that stolen FEMA money to fund her congressional campaign. Don't worry, I got that coming from CNN too. Hey, here's a real quick question, guys, and we're just gonna go big screen for this while we're all filtering in here. At what point did it become a prerequisite to serve in Congress to be a shitbag? Just curious, because you'd think that there'd be some sort of I don't know, moral and ethical codes of just being a good person. You wouldn't want to do something like that. But then we keep on seeing these habits pop up where they abuse power, whether you have an R behind your name, a D behind your name, and the occasional Bernie Sanders with an I behind his name. Or Angus King out of Maine. We can do both old white guys, whatever. When did it become a thing where a prerequisite to be a politician was just, literally just a shitbag? I might just be flying off the cuff. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I don't know. It just seems bad. It seems bad, people. But I'm loving the emojis, by the way. I'm seeing them over here, so let's keep on going. All right. Now, just to show you that I'm not just making this up from X and multiple different posts, I always look to correlate all my stories together for you guys, because this is a pretty big one. Representative Sheila Schifffelis, I love that name, McCormick, indicted on charges of stealing $5 million in disaster relief. Hey, I just want to point something out. Isn't this weird? Right up there. See how it says Representative Sheila, whatever, McCormick? Yeah, and then the first line is Democratic Rep Sheila something McCormick. Yeah, what do you bet that if that was a Republican, it would literally just be Republican caught stealing $5 million from babies. Anyway, keep on going. Democratic Rep Sheila McCormick has been indicted on charges accusing her of stealing $5 million in federal disaster funds and using some of the money to aid her 2021 campaign, the Justice Department announced Wednesday. The Florida Democrat is accused of stealing Federal Emergency Management Agency overpayments that her family healthcare company had received through a federally funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract. Wow. Yeah. Federal prosecutors said a portion of the money was then funneled to support her campaign through her campaign contributions, prosecutors allege. Yo, this is CNN. This isn't Fox News. This isn't News Nation. This isn't One American News, whatever, fill-in right-wing outlet here. This is literally CNN. It's nicknamed Clinton News Network. Wow, that is not cute. Let's keep on going. There's more. The Florida Division of Emergency Management said it made a series of overpayments to Trinity Healthcare Services after hiring it in 2021 to register people for COVID-19 vaccinations. The old Fauci-ouchie strikes again. The agency says it discovered the problem. Oh, they're so bad at it while they're evil. The agency said it discovered the problem after a single $5 million overpayment drew attention. Yeah, I don't know. God in heaven. Hey, we're kind of bored and we're kind of strapped for cash and we've been milking the system the whole time. Did you put in for that fraudulent thing that we do in our family healthcare system? Yeah, we put in for one single use for $5 million. No one will catch it. Good God. Okay, either our system is so decrepit that no one catches that or they're that stupid. Both aren't good. Let's keep on going. Richard Shamp says, got notifications all day long, just didn't get the live evening notification. That's okay, guys. That's okay. We are going to make it through because you guys, the emojis, the chats, the comments, the notifications work for it. Let's keep on going. The Office of Congressional Ethics said in a January report that Schifffelis McCormick income in 2020, they're so bad at this. Her income in 2021 was more than $6 million higher than in 2020, driven by nearly $5.75 million in consulting and profit-sharing fees received from Trinity Healthcare Services. You're not even good at it. How does that accounting go? Hold on, let's go. 2020, $200,000. Oh, that was a good year. 2021, $6.75 million. Wait a minute. How did that happen? You're a politician. It's like they don't even try, or they're that stupid. Don't worry, I got clips on clips on clips. We're gonna have fun with this. Anyway, in July, the House Ethics Committee unanimously voted to reauthorize an investigative subcommittee to examine allegations involving McCormick. Yeah, you think? You go up $5.5 million in income in 1 year while you're a congressional representative, and all of a sudden that's like, maybe we should look into that. You think? God. And this is before the spice happens. Good Lord. Let's see what she has to say about it, because CNN, no, is this CNN? Hold on. No, this is Colin Rugg. This is CBS from February of this year. Listen to this. This is her right here. That's her doing the whole I'm Oprah Winfrey look. Watch what she says. This is so wild.
We tried again.
I also wanted to ask you about the investigation into your families. But this is also part of her congressional duties. Congresswoman, you're under investigation for the congressional ethics for violation of campaign finances. Congresswoman, this is your district. You have to answer to these people. Congresswoman.
Attorneys for her family's healthcare company aren't answering the I-Team's questions either. And the Department of Emergency Management says they won't comment on ongoing litigation, leaving taxpayers and her constituents wondering what happened to those millions. She was back.
Yeah, what did happen to those millions? You know what? Wonders never cease. She's so excited. She's so happy. Hey, where'd that $5 million go? Oh, I'm out. Good God almighty. Like, seriously, maybe we just start at the basics. Maybe Make America Great Again is too advanced. Maybe it's like the 303 course or the 404 course. Maybe we should just start with Don't Be a Shitbag 101. Maybe if we start at the bottom level and we get people in Congress who aren't said shitbags, then we can actually build into something good rather than come in at the top and go, hey, all you S-bags right down. I've already done it. All you shitbags right down here, you're going to be really good, right? Maybe we should just flush that system. All right, let's keep on going. We got even more. Republican on Republican spiciness is about to pop off. So if you guys are enjoying the show, if you found that $5 million that she lost, make sure you report it and turn it in. And I'm loving the comments right over here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get into this. This is going to be some fun. All right, so now the time has come. The chats, the emojis, and the comments are making life. Thank you. Here we go. Benny Johnson. All right, Benny. Benny's got a little spice he's going to throw out. Because you remember that woman that we covered? We probably did like 4 or 5 videos on it in the last 3 days. Plaskett, where she was texting Jeffrey Epstein, and then, he was actually directing the questions towards Cohen. You know that one? Yeah, she was, they attempted to censure her in the House yesterday, and the first one went through, which is what I covered in my live stream. And then after that, the Republicans and the Democrats decided to scuttle it in a backroom deal. Yeah, I'm going back to shitbags. Just go back to shitbags. All right, listen to what Benny Johnson says. This opener is good. Then I'm going to show you Anna Paulina Luna and then Nancy Mace dropping bombs on their fellow Republicans who did it because there's one person. Watch this.
You cut a deal to protect the Democrat?
Lord.
That works with the that was in bed with the pedophile trying to get Trump? It's indefensible. How can you do that? What a betrayal of every principle that we have. Do we have any principles?
You know what? That was good. That was good. Thanks, Benny. All right, listen. Here's the thing. They are politicians. We're going to go big screen for this one because I'm just going to have a little bit of a soapbox for a second. They are politicians. And this, I think, is a very crucial thing that you have to understand. If you want to get things done when politicians are involved, you're not going to rely on the goodness of their heart and the most amazing facets of their character, because by definition, they are politicians. They tend to do whatever the wind blows, right? And again, I'm not bashing any one individual politician, Republican, Democrat. I'm not doing that. But if you place your faith and your hope and your trust in individuals who are politicians, I don't know how well that's going to go for you, regardless of whatever side of the aisle you're on. Now, here's my caveat to that. I don't trust politicians as far as I can throw them. However, what I do trust is a politician's desire for self-preservation. That is because that is their key principle. That is their key currency. How do I preserve myself? Well, you preserve yourself by aligning with my goals and my dreams and my visions. You do that, and you get to achieve your self-preservation. You do not. You do not. That's, in my opinion, the way that it should go. You guys let me know over here in the comment over here. You guys can let me know what you think of it in the comment field over here. By the way, Brent Grimes says he was screaming that this morning, Braden. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he just did it. Like, I'm just collecting all the stuff of the day for you guys in these lives. Adding the commentary and taking you through a safari of freedom, as it were. But, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I don't know, let's keep on. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on trucking. Benny's still angry. We got to let him vent off for a second. Here we go. This guy, his name is Corey Mills. He's one of those pesky, corrupt rhinos. Yeah, they're the Republicans in name only. It's kind of a well-known thing. We kind of all know it, and sometimes people just say it out loud, and this is one of those instances. Because the reason that Representative Nancy Mace and Anna Paulina Luna, who are about to come up, are saying that this whole Plaskett got let off the hot seat was because of this guy. Okay, let's get into this. Again, you know what? Shitbags, the lot of them. I'm just going to say that a whole lot this live stream. It just seems the right thing to do.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that Representative Corey Mills be censured. Representative Corey Mills forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Corey Mills be censured with a public reading of this resolution by the Speaker, and Representative Corey Mills be and is hereby removed from the Committee on Armed Services and the Committee on Foreign Affairs of the House.
Under Rule 9,
Okay, I don't care about your numbered rules. So Nancy Mace is going after Corey Mills, a representative and the Republican from Florida, and this is what Benny is really, really animated about. I wonder what could have caused that. What could we have done to get to this point that got everyone so spicy about this? Why is Benny screaming? Why is Nancy Mace saying, come to the floor and commit your crimes and mea culpa, mea culpa? Well, maybe Luna can shed some light on it. I really like Anna Paulina Luna. She has this element of I don't care, and I really do like that. But let me just show you what she just did, because she basically calls the entire thing out, Republican leadership and Democrat leadership, because Plaskett should have been smoked on this. But of course, they found a way to protect their own because they're, politicians. All right, watch this. Anna, just what she does at the end here is glorious.
For what purpose does the gentlelady from Florida seek recognition?
I have a parliamentary inquiry.
The gentlelady from Florida will state her inquiry.
I was wondering if the Speaker of the House of Representatives can explain why leadership on both sides, both Democrat and Republican, are cutting back-end deals to cover up public corruption in the House of Representatives for both Republican and Democrat members of Congress.
The gentlelady has not stated a proper parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you very much, but I think the American people know what happened tonight.
And this is what I mean. She literally went up there and be like, I'm going to do something I have an inquiry. I'm going to say my statement, and then you're going to say, no, that's not the proper inquiry. And she goes, cool, thanks. Bye. I love that. I love that. Yeah, because it turns out that Hakeem Jeffries said earlier today they found a deal to avoid Plaskett getting in trouble. And then, what's his face? Mike Johnson came out and said, like, yeah, we figured it out. And then she didn't get censured for texting with Epstein during this whole Epstein thing. She got off because Republicans like Corey Mills need to be protected by the Republicans. This is the whole point. This is why Anna Paulina says that. She just roasted both leaderships, the Democrat and the Republicans, which she honestly should have. You've got Nancy Mace saying that this guy should present himself apostate on the floor of the House and, basically just receive his punishment. And then Benny Johnson is real upset, which honestly he should be, because they let them off the hook to protect each other. It's almost like it's a game. I'm not saying... I'm kind of just saying. All right, let's keep on going, guys. This is where it gets a lot of fun. Who ordered the disillusion for, let's say 120 million people? Because boy, do I have it. And as you guys get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. You guys are the winners in life because you figured out a way to get here without notifications. So thank you guys for that. All right, let's dive into this. I want to show you some... the purest form of hopium that I've seen in a while. So what you're looking at right here is the 2026 generic ballot poll. You guys know how I really like to look at the generic ballot poll because it shows the overall temperature across the board. Now, the lefties have made a very, very big mistake. A rudimentary 101 rookie level mistake. You don't make this mistake. It's important. What they've done here is they're throwing out all sorts of excitement and assigning all sorts of value to this poll that you see right here. Democrats, 55%, plus 14 over Republicans at 41%, a Marist poll. So now, naturally, the first thing that you should be doing is you should go, wait a minute, that seems kind of like out of the blue, out of left field. Like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Where'd that come from? But no, that's not what they're doing. They are just clowning themselves. They're going all over the world. They are screaming everything about how amazing and blue tsunami that's coming in 2026. This is Ted Lieu. This is a representative on the Democrat side. He's a special level of special. I've never seen a generic congressional ballot poll this high for either party. This is blue tsunami territory. Wednesday motivation. My God. Anyway, this one's an interesting little point. I showed you a representative. I showed you someone who's kind of bringing some actual reality to this. Marist could be an outlier. No. We'll get to that in a second. But I remember doubt when State Navigate and YouGov dropped their Virginia polls showing Dems up big, probably entering a volatile political environment, so good to keep an open mind. A volatile political environment right now? No. No way. That couldn't be it. Yeah. Oh, look, MSNBC, also known as MS Now, because they suck so bad they had to rebrand. Watch this.
The number you're looking at right now is if the midterms were held today, which candidate would you choose? This is for a generic ballot. And look at the spread here, Adam. 41% say a Republican, 55% say a Democrat. National poll here. But that spread is one of the biggest spreads we've seen for Democrats over Republicans in I think decades, a really long time.
You know, my favorite part about this is how they can't hide their elation, right? So right up here, you see this Brooklyn Dad Defiant guy? This is as far left vitriolic dill hole you can imagine. Holy shit, he says. Latest poll shows that if midterms were today, Dems would clobber Republicans as voters favor Dems 55 to 41. Largest gap possibly in decades. And then he tweets, of course, the MS Now tripe. You know, the only one little problem, this is the part where reality is about to crash back in, and we're going to take the safari truck that we're on right over their hopes and dreams. Okay? This is the fun part, and thank you for the emojis, chats, and comments. Because 14 points is like, that seemed a bit much. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at reality. So what I'm showing you right here is the 2026 generic congressional vote. This is Real Clear Politics, or excuse me, Real Clear Polling. This is the Real Clear aggregate of all polls, RCP. Do you notice anything very odd and strange? You know, I don't know. It seems very odd for me to be going and banging the drum from on top of every mountain and every X profile you can find when I literally see all the way back from the third week in October, Democrats +8, Democrats +2, tied. Democrats +5, +4, +6, +1, +5, +3, +14, +5. And the RCP average of all of those polls is 4.8. So if the average of all of these polls for the last 3 weeks is 4.8, I'll even zoom in for you real quick. See this right here? That's 4.8 up there at the top, right? And this one right here, this 14, is the big gotcha, oh, Trump's dead, MAGA's dead, conservatives are dead, Republicans are dead, they're never winning again. Yeah, maybe, just maybe you think that's an outlier? I don't know. I mean, call me wickedly crazy and a little optimistic, but that doesn't really seem to stand. That is by definition an outlier. But don't worry, and no one wants to be on our side of anything. Okay, let's just keep on trucking. So right here, NPR has to get on this. Again, guys, this is hopium, copium, whatever you want to call it. This is epic levels of it. They want to win so badly that they're willing to believe this. 14 points. This is exactly what happened in the general election with Kamala Harris. It was literally every single poll that gave them a 3, 4, 5, 1 point advantage. It was like Give me more, baby. Let's do it. I mean, literally. And again, it's a year from now. Let's continue. All right, as you can see, the Democrats have the biggest advantage for control of Congress in 8 years. You know what? I'm actually kind of down with this. Democrats, you have it in the bag. You guys probably shouldn't vote. Anyway, a survey of 1,443 adults conducted from November 10th through 13th found Democrats holding their largest advantage, 14 points, since 2017 on a question of who respondents would vote for if the midterm elections were held today. President Trump's approval rating is just 39%, his lowest since right after January 6th, the attack on the Capitol. This isn't biased at all. A combined 6 in 10 blame congressional Republicans or Trump for the government shutdown, and nearly 6 in 10 say Trump's top priority should be lowering prices, and no other issue comes close. I'm going to pause this really quickly for you. That's it. Republicans, Trumpy, the admin, any representative. I'm going to give you the free cheat code for the election of 2026. You ready? You got a pencil? Accountability and affordability. You stop the two-tier justice system bullcrap, and you bring prices down and make houses and gas and electricity and groceries affordable again, you'll win for the next 25 years. This is not difficult. But anyway, hope you wrote that down. You can always replay it. This is a live. It does have a reloaded archive. All right, let's keep on going. And by the way, you guys can let me know what you think over here in the chat right over here. Chris Gray says it's getting really deep. It is getting really deep. I got a couple more things I got to show you. And of course, Democrats, you have it in the bag. You can see it right here on NPR. You don't need to do anything. Coming off huge wins up and down the ballot across the country in this year's off-year elections, Democrats led Republicans 55 to 41% when people were asked who would they vote for in their district if Congress were today. It's the largest Democratic advantage on this question known this congressional ballot since November 2017. The parallel is striking. Yeah, and here's the big thing right here. This is the numbers that they brought up, and I'm going to wrap this up in a second because I know that sometimes these numbers all blend together and it's boring, but it's how we win. I mean, candidly, it's how we win. Considering the fall of 2022 with Democratic President Biden in the White House, Democrats' lead ranged from 0 to 4, and they lost 9 House seats. This is them doing the ratio and the calculation. In 2018, during Trump's first term, Democrats' lead ranged between 6 and 12, and they won 40 seats. And in 2014, when Democrat Barack Obama was president, Republicans had a 5-point advantage, and the GOP gained 13 seats. That's it. If they have a big advantage, then they take seats and they take the House because it's such a slim margin. Only I think the number's 14 House seats are actually the ones that flip back and forth that are determined. I think the rest are all pretty much locks. So this is what it comes down to. If the Democrat advantage on the generic ballot is genuinely a plus 5, 6, or 7, because they have a built-in +3 advantage in that generic ballot, they're going to win the House. And if they have anything at 3 or below, they're not gonna. When Trump did all of his massive wins through the elections, the election of the House, the Senate, and the White House in 2024, the Republican advantage was +2. Just to give you a reference point, okay? But honestly, I think I did something else down here. Here you go. This part's not that important. It's all about independence. I could say it doesn't matter. It's all about independence. That's the whole point. And bottom line, guys, I'm going to wrap this because it went a little longer. I thought I was going to. I hope you guys had fun. This is what you have to look at. You vote like you're losing. You grind like you're losing. There are going to be times when they take elections, and there are going to be times when they lose elections. It's not like it's a winner-take-all situation, but the underlying core principle of what's happening in our nation is it is shifting massively to the right. Sure, can they win special elections? Okay. Can they win control of the House in an off chance? Yeah, it's possible. It doesn't mean that everything's going to be completely different and nothing's happening. All it means is they're winning individual small elections based off of the circumstances that are in play. The country's going right, and I've shown you that and I've articulated that a whole bunch. But the bottom line is, vote like you're losing, count after you voted, and watch and save this country together. And that's what I've got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this content. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. Thank you for waiting your way through the no notification morass, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.